Well, hello. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to be sharing some tips and tools, hopefully to help people to not be so stressed out with this pandemic that we're going through. I mean, this is a really tragic time for all of us. And for those of us who have a tendency toward overeating, over drinking, overdoing things in general, this can be a really nasty thing. And a lot of people also struggle with reaching out for help. So today our workshop is about how to get help for stress and addiction without losing your dignity and respect. So I know that I am not alone in this pandemic having gotten to me. It's challenging, it's stressful. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got family that we haven't seen and family that we can't see, just so many different things. But I know I am ready for peace of mind and I strive for it every day. And I'm going to share with you some of the tools that I have come up with that have been helpful for me, and hopefully they'll be helpful for you. So some of the things that I want to share with you is, first off, I don't want you to think that you're a weirdo or an awful person because this anxiety has gotten to you. And self-medicating is a normal human reaction. It is what we do to cope with things. We find ways of coping, and stressful things like a pandemic can cause us to do things that we normally wouldn't do if we were in our right mind, so to speak. I want to show you how to not spiral down into a pile of shame because I coulda, shoulda, woulda. If I only would have done this, that would have been a better thing. But I want to help you with not going through that shame pile when you're not succeeding in your behaviors. I also want to help you to discover the best tools that there is out there for helping with your challenging behaviors that you might be struggling with. So that's an important tool for that. I want to help you with how to face those that you've been hiding from, if this is the case, and this certainly isn't the case for everyone, where you've been lying to people and stealing and being mean to them. But you know what? We all go through things where we start struggling, and then we just get mean to people. We don't mean to act out, but because of stress, we do things that we normally wouldn't do when we weren't stressed. And then how to live step 11, which is praying only for the knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. So I'm going to share with you those things. And there are like six problems that I think need solutions as we're going through this process. And the first one, I think, is to learn how to not let fear and anxiety overtake you. Anxiety has skyrocketed in these last 6 months since this pandemic hit. So many things to be anxious about, and there's so many things come that happen to us physically, not being able to sleep, not being able to eat, eating too much, just not knowing how to cope, panic attacks, things that we maybe have never been through before are happening now physically because anxiety has gotten the best of us. I think we need to learn how to deal with annoying people and family because at this point in time, when we are stuck with family more than we normally would be because we aren't out and about, and because we have to deal with annoying people everywhere, in the grocery store, online, listening on the radio, no matter where you go, there's annoying people. How do you deal with them? What do you do when you've lost hope and you feel like God has abandoned you? I've been blessed. We have been blessed that we have not been sick. We have not had horrible things happen. I am not financially destitute right now. God has been really good to me. And it's not that God's not good to other people, but other people have gone through some really tragic things. And how do you not feel like he is lost out there somewhere when you're going through that? How do you not get lost in alcohol, drugs, food, and other addictions? How do you not try to cope when that is what many of us grew up with? That's what we're most comfortable with. And maybe you never did it before, and now it's like, whoa, this is great. And now you're trust me, you're gonna get stuck. It's gonna get a lot harder if you continue with those habits. Where to turn when you're struggling to pay the bills, because this is a reality which causes a lot of stress for people, and how to keep a positive attitude amidst the pandemic. With that family thing, I just have to give a shout out to those parents who are managing, trying to work and have kids at home and homeschool. Oh my gosh, what a horrible thing that is. And I'm telling you, I'm praying for you guys. My kids have that same situation going on, all of them. My one stepdaughter doesn't have any kids at home right now, but all the other kids do. And it's just, it's hard. It's really, really hard. They're telling me how hard it is. So for those of you who might not know me, my name is Linda Larson Schlitz, and I am a licensed professional counselor, which is what the LPC stands for. I'm the owner of the Faucet of Hope Ministries, LLC. It is an organization that helps people to figure out their purpose in life and then how to get paid to do it by knowing that you have been created for God's purpose and He's got a specific plan that He wants you to do. And I have been chosen, if you're watching this, to help you figure that out and to do it and actually get paid to do it so it doesn't feel like work. That's what I do. I've got over 30 years working with the chronically mentally ill, chemically dependent, homeless, sex-cons, veterans, people of all different backgrounds, nationalities, sizes, shapes, colors, and experiences. That's what I do, and have loved every minute of it. I've been a professional speaker for the majority of the last 40 years. I've been doing professional speaking and counseling for the last 30 years. I published my first book in 2013 and my last book just less than a year ago. And I am a life coach. So I help people figure out their lives and what to do with it. I have been blessed through a nonprofit that I started, my husband and I started, and my daughter, to help people who are homeless, in recovery, alcohol, drugs, coming out of jail, prison, haven't worked in a long time because of their addictions or their mental illness. And I've been very fortunate to have helped. We had 46 beds at one time that helped this population to recover. And somebody asked me today, do you have any success stories? Absolutely. We've got tons of success stories of people who are doing well and are still here to pass the torch, so to speak, on sharing the good news that there is hope of recovery if it works, if you work it. Because of that organization and the influence that it had in the community, I was nominated for the Athena Award, and my husband and I were also received the Red Cross Hometown Heroes of the Year Award. So both of those awards were just a real shock and yet a real blessing. The two books that I've written, actually three, The Ditzy Blonde Faucet, It's a God Thing, is my story of me and my life with ADHD and bipolar and recovering alcoholic and addict. And All Season Front Row Ticket to the Fights, whether you want to be there or not. That is a book on child abuse that the children themselves wrote and illustrated. I'm going to be publishing that hopefully within the next couple of months, at least on a ebook type format so that people can download it. And then my most recent is Speak to Me, God, I'm Listening, of 365-day meditations for those who want to hear God answer life's toughest questions. And then fortunately, because God allowed me to be in a position with the state of Wisconsin, working at the job center, The governor got wind of me and all the work I was doing and sent me a really nice plaque that I have hanging on my walls, and actually said I am a good example for the people of Wisconsin to follow. I'm not sure I really like that, but I'm doing my best to be a good example to others. So, what's the problem that we need to be aware of? And the first thing is we've got to become mindful. And this is kind of a buzzword, mindfulness. What does it mean? I didn't really know. I thought it was just some new agey thing, which I don't even know what new agey means. But what it really means is that we've got to get control of our thoughts. So if you are here and you are anxious, and I know I've got somebody here that had some anxiety and didn't sleep well last night, think about the top 4 things that are causing you anxiety and fear right now. So if you don't have a pen, run, get a pen, pencil, because you really should be writing this stuff down so that you can reflect back on some of these tools that I'm going to give you. But this is the first thing. What are the top 4 things that are causing you anxiety and fear right now? Now, I'm saying 4. Maybe you can't even get past number 1. At least get number 1 down on paper, because that's what we got to deal with right now. But we kind of peel those apart. For each of the things above, for whatever those things are that are causing you that anxiety, that stress, how much control do you have over them? If it's something like you have lost your job, okay, you don't have control over the fact that you lost your job. You do have control over the fact that you may be able to get another job. One of my areas of expertise that I could help you with. So figure out how much control do you have over the situation that you are feeling anxious and stressed about. Think about how this anxiety and the fear is impacting you physically. Where do you feel it? You know, stress usually comes up. My husband's been going through stuff and he's nauseous all the time. And then he gets migraines. Those are my 2 areas. Usually, mine is usually back here in my neck, and then it turns into a headache. So, is it muscle stress? Is it, your stomach? Is it your head? Where do you feel that anxiety? Because stress actually lowers your immunity. And how are you coping with this anxiety? Let me just really quickly, just because all of these things we're going to talk about today are medically based. I'm telling you, they're medically based. Now, okay, now if you're one of those people that don't believe in science, then okay, you might want to turn me off here at this point, because I'm going to talk about medical and science and how this stuff affects us. But anxiety actually starts in the brain. When a thought pops into our brain, our minds, and our previous experiences tells us whether or not this is something we should have anxiety about. Whether somebody in our past told us, oh, you aren't going to be able to handle this, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, whatever our minds are telling us is what causes that. It's called the fight or flight response that we have in our brains. We're born with this fight or flight reaction. But what happens when we are in a constant state of anxiety and stress, the chemicals that are built into our bodies that keep us going, that adrenaline, those and I'm not going to go into all the names of all of the things in our bodies that keep us going, but adrenaline is something we're familiar with. It kicks off so that when we are in a stressful situation, like somebody's chasing us, oh, you get that extra zap to run. Somebody fell under a car, you can pick up the car and move it. Okay, that's not going to happen tomorrow when you're just lollygagging around, because it was that adrenaline that kept you going. When you're under stress, you've been going through a lot of stuff. You're moving, you've lost a job, you've got a sick family member, all of these stressors, your body is coping in the best way it can, but those chemicals are being depleted from your brain, which is causing things to go a little haywire. So it's a physical, it becomes a physical thing, which is why people can't sleep and why they're having panic attacks, because the chemicals, you're missing the chemicals in your brain because they've been depleted. It's like you drove too fast, too far, and now you need to let the car cool down and you got to put some more gas and water in it or whatever. So you've got to refill. So the refilling of those chemicals, yes, there's medications out there for that, but there's a lot of other ways that we can refill and make those things better. And one of those is eating healthy. Food is medicine to our brains. So eating the right kinds of foods, lots of proteins, X the sugar, that is not good. That's not going to help your stress level. Sugar is not going to help the stress level. Really beef up on the proteins that you're eating, and the greens and the brain foods like spinach and things that I mean, look it up on the internet. Things that are good for your brain are going to help you to boost your immune system, and it's also going to help you to cope better if you're eating better. So physically, there's some issues. Many people find comfort in their faith. Where are you at on a scale of faith? So this is, for me, my biggest thing. Well, the food thing is a big deal too, because I don't have control over what my body is doing when I'm putting junk into it. I do have control over what I put into it, and I do have control over what I think about. And thinking about things is where my faith comes in. So that gives me comfort that there is a purpose in this. There is a purpose for my life right now. In whatever situation I'm in, am I going to look at it in a positive light? And what are you grateful for? Attitude of gratitude is one of the first things they teach you in the recovery program. What are you grateful for? Because if we aren't grateful, then we focus on the negatives. So one of the private groups that you get to join if you become a part of this group that I'm offering to you is we do what we call the 3 Gs every morning. What are you good at? What are you grateful for? And what are your goals for the day? Actually, the grateful is first. What are you grateful for? What are you good at? And what are your goals for the day? You don't ever set your goals first. You do the grateful thing first because it makes a difference. And what can you do today that will make your day better? I wrote that twice. What can you do today? So think about it. First thing you can do is to not sweat the annoying stuff, because there are so many annoying things out there. So identify who are the people in your life that are causing you annoyances, and why is that? Are they things that you can change? Can you maybe negotiate a better communication with this individual? Can you keep your distance a little bit more? Do you have to be around them at all? Are you making choices to be around people that are just downright annoying? Or do you just need to learn to blow some things off? So number 2, control what you can with that situation. Number 3, do unto others what you would want them to do to you. WWJD, back in the day, everybody had a bracelet. What would Jesus do? And consider the golden rule. Luke 6:31, that's what that is. Do unto others what you want others to do to you. So if you don't want people to, be in your space, then get out of theirs. If you don't want people badgering you all the time, then back off. So try to treat people, with respect. If you don't want them talking down to you, then don't talk down to them. So it's obvious. So but it helps. Number 4, dump what isn't working. But this takes some thought. And sometimes we can't see ourselves what isn't working. We can't figure out what isn't working. So we might need somebody else to look into our lives and say, you know what, I'm just wondering if maybe this is something that you're working too hard at, or maybe you don't need to worry about. So dump what isn't working. Number 5, look for the good, which goes back to the gratitude thing. Philippians 4:13. I love this one. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So, I mean, how many rotten, sucky, depressing, anxiety provoking things are in that list? No. Noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, praiseworthy, and true. That's what we focus on. So if you turn on the news, there's a whole lot of things that we should not be focusing on because we know it's not true. We know it's not pure. We know it's not admirable or noble or praiseworthy. Why are we wasting our time listening and watching things that really, in the big scheme of things, aren't going to matter? Practice what you've learned from those you look up to. So, latch on to somebody that you trust in, that you believe in, that is living the kind of life that you would like to live, and then learn from them. But don't do it alone, because none of us can do this well alone. I do have a group on Saturday mornings, at least right now. I don't know when you're listening to this. At this moment in time, Saturday mornings at 8:30 Central Standard Time, we are meeting online on Zoom just to deal with life on life's terms. It is called Speak to Me God Support Group, and that's what we are talking about. We're going through my book, my meditation book, and just discussing how life is for us each and how can we make it better for each other. Number 4, play it to the end. Play it to the end. So you're at home, you're stressed out, you want to use, you want to drink, you want to yell, you want to spout off at that person on Facebook that just made that stupid comment about one political party or the other, whatever. Play it to the end. Do you really want the end result of what that could be in another 20 minutes or half hour or hour? Do you really want to go there? If it's about picking up a drink or going out and buying some weed or making a bad drug making a drug deal, whatever it is, I can guarantee you, I'll be praying for you, already been praying for you, that you're going to know, you're going to have that little tiny voice in the back of your mind that, don't do it, don't do it. When you hear that voice, don't do it, then don't do it. Play it to the end. At least stop and play it to the end and make an informed decision. Well, let's see. Last time I did this, what happened? How did I feel at the end of it? Can I afford to do it? Is it going to help? And we're going to go over some of those in a little bit. But again, don't try and do this alone. Yes, we've got to be personally responsible, but you're going to see this theme over and over again. Don't try and do it alone because we're not meant to. Remember the positive behaviors that make you feel good and go toward that. So if what you're feeling bad about is, that you went and did something, I don't know, you drank again. You ate another piece of pie that you swore you weren't going to do again, whatever it might be, whatever that thing is that you don't feel good about. Think of how good you felt the last time you chose not to do that behavior, how positive you felt, the good feelings that you have, and hang on to that and call somebody and tell them, hey, I am about to decide to not go and do this. And take ownership in that. Don't call somebody to have them talk you out of it. Call them to confess that you're making a good decision for yourself. You're going to feel a whole lot better and will be much less apt to blame somebody else for talking you out of the thing you might want to do, because you really don't. You wouldn't be on the call if you really did want to change. Get the help you need now. Don't wait. Don't wait until after you use or after you've really messed up, got picked up for drunk driving, whatever it is. get the help now and get it over with, get it done with. Um, Remember where you came from. You know, you've done a lot of great things in your life. Sometimes you might feel like God has abandoned you or others. And if so, how are you feeling that? Why are you feeling like that? What was it like before? And remember that it hasn't always been this bad. And think back on other difficult times in your life. How did you get through it? How did you get through those tough times then? I mean, right now, something might feel like I can't do another day. I can't go on one more second. But then think back on what you've made it through in the past, and you're going to find, oh yeah, man, that was a lot worse. That was a lot worse. And you made it through that. Did you ask God to help you? If you haven't, hey, consider asking God to help you get through it. And you survive, but how? Write your thoughts down. Write down where you've been, what you've come through. Try to focus on the things that you have succeeded in overcoming in the past and how good you felt when you came out on the other side of that. Have you ever heard yourself say to someone, you are a godsend, or perhaps others have said that to you? Write down people that have been there for you, and then write down people that have felt you were there for them. This is important because you need to see that there is an inner relationship here between the other people in your life and the people that you are available to help serve and to provide encouragement for. So maybe right now you feel like life really sucks, but you know what? Life sucks even bigger for other people out there. Somebody who has got some horrible travesty going on right now. Maybe they're in the hospital. Maybe they just got a horrible diagnosis. Maybe somebody, just passed away yesterday in their family. Maybe uh, maybe they're going to lose their house. There's a lot. I mean, I look and I feel so bad because I had a thought the other day. Oh, I hate my life. I woke up in the morning and went, I hate my life. Why do I hate my life? Because I have to get up and I got to figure out what am I going to do and how am I going to generate income and how, just stuff that, oh my gosh, I am so grateful. I've got a beautiful house. I feel so ashamed of myself when I realized there are people in Florida that have no homes. There are people in California whose houses have burned. There are people who have nothing, no one, nothing. And oh my gosh, who am I? I just can't even believe those thoughts go through my head. But we're all human. So remember, there is somebody who may need you to just text them, hey, I'm here for you. Or hey, thank you for being you. Or hey, I prayed for you today. That little text could save somebody from offing themselves, from committing suicide. I am not kidding you. I have had people say things like that to me in the past, that I was going to kill myself that night. And then I got your email. My email that they get in the mail, I don't even send it out, and they think I just like wrote this email for them. I just have it automated. If you haven't signed up for getting my daily meditations, please do that. It's just, God uses each of us if we will allow him to do that. So do you believe that you're on this earth for a reason? Did it ever occur to you what I just said, that God has sent others to help you, just like you have been sent to help them? What if it's God inspired legislators to offer you a stimulus check and unemployment benefits? I mean, we might not be happy with our government and the way things are going right now, but my gosh, we all, have been blessed pretty well this last year. When we look at our country compared to a lot of other countries that don't have anything, they don't have any health insurance, they don't have any food pantries, they don't have any of that. We are very blessed. So again, perhaps this workshop was created just for you, nobody else. So keep in mind the people need you. So write down all the people whose lives are depending on you to make it through this. You've got family right now that need you. You've got friends. If you don't call them family, Maybe they're people from your church. Maybe they're people from your AA group or your recovery group or your mental health support. They're family. Family is not defined by blood. Family is defined by how we define family. So we can do this together. And I guess I look at anybody watching this as my brothers and sisters. And it is my goal, and I hope it's yours, to offer hope to each other, which is help, opportunity, praise, and encouragement. That's my definition of hope. And that's what I want to offer everybody who is coming this way. Number 5, consider the lilies. Now, this is harsh, and people are like, oh, that is so rude that you're saying that. But seriously, every day, and I can't even talk about this without getting choked. I live just less than a mile from the bridge where the homeless people live, under the bridge, literally. And I look at them and I thank God, I thank God, I thank God that I have what I have. I've got way too much stuff. All they have is that knapsack that they're carrying on their back, and that's it. And that's what they walk around. And it's getting cold. We're in Wisconsin. It's like in the 30s and 40s now at night. And I'm not homeless. And I'm not hungry. And I'm not naked. And I have what I need. I may not have all that I want, but my gosh, what do I need? I have more than what I need. What can we do to make money and recreate ourselves? So if life has fallen apart, if we don't have what we need, if people are not generating the income that they were before, then what else does God have for you out there? I'm telling you, he has got stuff for all of us. So that if you're watching this again and you don't know where to start, that's why I'm here. That's my jam, is helping people recreate themselves, to figure out what God's purpose is and then how to get paid to do it. And I'll tell you what, it blesses me when I can help someone, because a lot of times what someone else's job is helping me in some way. So I'm excited about that. And one thing that I'm developed, excuse me, is an affiliate program. So as I launch my next course, anybody wants to help me spread the word to other people, I'm going to pay you $75 to let somebody else know that, hey, there's help available. So I hope you'll sign up for that. Number 6, spiritual mindfulness, an attitude of gratitude, which is what we had talked about before. And I kind of read this before. Philippians, I didn't read this one, but Philippians 4:4-9, rejoice in the Lord always. Paul said, again, I say rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord's near. Don't be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, just saying, God, okay, I'm asking, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, this is what we read before, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, praiseworthy, think about these things. So that, put it into practice. The God of peace will be with you if you put these things into practice. So what thoughts do you have that have become bad and have ended in negative behaviors? So if your thoughts are, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then you're like, oh, I got to do something. I got to go get some weed. I got to calm down. I need a drink. I need to have a cigarette. I need to go and cover up these bad feelings. That's how this whole addiction thing gets started. So how can you change your thinking instead of looking for that quick fix? Yes, it is uncomfortable to feel uncomfortable, but okay, this too shall pass. So what things can you think about that help you to feel better? What song can you put on? What videos can you watch? What friends can you call? What support groups can you join? Where can you go? What can you do besides a negative behavior? There are so many options out there. So that's your other challenge, is write down the positive tools that you have. Music, reading the Bible, doing things for other people, getting a part-time job, doing something creative, painting, drawing, writing poetry. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Writing your life story. Your life story is your legacy. So do that. Write your own legacy. What is your legacy? What do you want your headstone to say? What do you think about that? What do you want your headstone to say? Boy, she was always stressed out. Oh man. And people say that about me. Can't you just slow down? That's probably what mine will say. I wish she would have just slowed down. I like doing things, but I don't like pressuring myself to do things. So, what do you want your headstone to say? That's what you need to work toward living. And what difference would you like to make in the lives of others? Do those choices that we've talked about, you making, the drinking, the using, the smoking, the eating, overeating, whatever, are those things that are those reflections of the difference you would like to make in the lives of others? Because this is about, how do we want to live? What legacy do you want to leave? And how can you be an inspiration right now in the midst of this pandemic, wherever you are? And what help do you need to make it happen? I am not saying that this is easy. What I am saying is you cannot do it alone. You can't do it alone. You know, it's, and maybe I'm not the person that's supposed to be helping you, but I can tell you this, you can't do this alone. You need to have other people around that can be supporting you in your challenges to life and getting there. So how can I help you? Here's a few things. If you haven't already signed up for a strategy session with me, and what that is we spend about a half hour. I want you to prepare ahead of time to figure out, okay, what do I want to talk to her about? What are my issues? In a half an hour, we don't have time to hear your whole life story. So in a nutshell, where are you stuck? What's your problem? And what help do you need? So think about that before you call me. What is your main problem that comes to your mind? And what do you think I might be able to do to help you? Second, for being at this workshop, you've got access to my meditations for 30 days, but you can get them every day of the year. If you buy any of my books today, if you already bought one of my books and you want the emails, let me know. Here's where you can buy the books. Amazon.com/author Linda Larson Schlitz. Right now, the Kindle book is only $1.99, but I am going to be raising that price before I do my next relaunch. And my hardcover book just came out for $29.99. My paperback cover book, and this is what my book looks like right here. My paperback is $14.99, so you can get that. If you want a autographed copy, let me know, and you can buy it from me directly, get it from me directly. Or if you join my course, I will give you an autographed copy of my book, and you don't have to purchase it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. I've got upcoming events, I've always got something going on my webpage. So just go to lindalarsonschlitz.com/events, and you'll be able to see which things I got going. And one of the things I will always have up there is the support group on Saturday mornings. If it's not up there, hey, get a hold of me, let me know. And that means I screwed up. So I will need to get that on there. So let me know. The other thing I am just kicking off that I would love to have you be a part of is CARA, Christian Addiction Recovery Academy. What this is going to be, and this is me and my visionary things that I'm doing, it is a It's a school, it's a training center, this is part of it, where you will be able to take courses and get certified to teach some of these courses for me. So if I'm not available, or let's say you've got a group of people that you are, you've got people that I can't relate to. I am not into, I'm not a meth addict. But if I had a meth addict that I was working with that had a group of meth addicts that they could work with, then be more effective than I can be because I don't understand, that would be somebody that would be great to go through this and then get certified to teach some of these courses. So if you're somebody that would like to teach some of these kinds of courses and want to go through the academy, either to become a coach or to just for your own experience, please consider signing up with me. But we're going to be starting the first course in a couple of weeks. It's called Learning to Live with Whatever Ails You. And what that means is that, we've all got alphabet soup going on here. I am in AA. I've been to NA, Narcotics Anonymous. I've been to Overeaters Anonymous, OA. I've been to Adult Children of Alcoholics, ACOA. I have ADHD, OCD, all these different acronyms of the alphabet soup we have. Other people have other things that is troubling them. It may not even be diagnosed, but whatever is a stumbling block for you, that's what we're going to be talking about. Learning to live with whatever ails you. And if what ails you right now is sitting home because of this dang pandemic, and that's what's troubling you and ailing you right now, is not knowing how to cope with that, then that's what we're going to deal with. So here's what you get. It's going to be an 8-week course, but 7 weeks of live interactive webinars, because we are going to start this in a couple of weeks and I don't want to be meeting on Thanksgiving weekend. So we will skip that week live, but I will still offer a private one-on-one session every week with everybody that is in this. And there is only room. I'm only taking 20 people. That's all I can have in this course. I can't have any more. So there's going to be a time limit amount of time to get into this before it fills up, I'm sure. So the value of that webinar is usually $350 if I was charging outright. If I was just charging you to do a private one-on-one session with me, it's $100 an hour. So that value is $800. The private group assistance, which there will be a private group. We're going to be doing coaching within that group. There'll be mentoring going on, and that normally is a $30 a month option. And so that's $360, but I am kicking this off and I really want to graduate my first class before the end of the year. So I am offering it for the minimal cost of $550. So I'm really excited to be able to offer that kind of a deal for people. So I am really looking forward to getting started with that and graduating my first class of people, and where it goes, it goes. The other thing I don't have on here that I am really excited about is the my art class that I'm doing. Not a class, but I started a page for undiscovered artists, which I've had a dream of, and this all kind of rolls together, the Gallery of Hope. And it is another page. It's our Gallery of Hope, and it is on Facebook. But anybody who's got any kind of creative talents whatsoever, I am giving people an opportunity till the end of the year to jump on board and start posting their things on my Facebook page so that people can see what you have to offer. And then we're going to see if we can help you sell some of your stuff. So that's the direction that I'm going. I am really excited. I'm really glad that you guys joined this today. And if there's any questions that I can answer, you can put them in the chat box. I know I've been going on here for a while, but I know some of the questions, let me just see here. I've got to get to my chat box. Okay, what are some of the questions? All right. Okay. All right. So how long, when are the groups going to meet is one of the questions. Well, at this point, it is looking to me like Sunday afternoons might be a good time because so many of the people that have expressed interest are women who are working all week. They've got their kids at home, they're homeschooling, they're exhausted evenings. So weekends look best. Saturdays seem to be the day people are catching up going shopping. Sundays are football. But bottom line, this is going to have to be a priority. Pick your pleasures here. And if you want to get your life in order, then you might have to forego something. So right now we're looking at Sunday afternoon for about an hour. And then the private one-on-one sessions can be anytime. I mean, I'm up night or day and I can schedule those whenever it works out for you. So another one of the questions that came in is there a payment plan? Yes, actually, we can split that cost into 2 payments if that is going to be helpful for you. So let me know and we can work on a payment plan and split that, because I know how that goes. If you're a month-to-month person like I have been for much of my life, I get it. So let me know. If there's any other questions, please pop them in the chat session. I will answer them in our private chat group. I am so grateful for you attending today, and I'm really looking forward to the future. I hope we will be able to spend some really good time together before the end of the year. I am really excited to be able to get this started in a really positive way and change people's lives. So thank you for watching. This is Linda Larson Schlitz with the Faucet of Hope, and my prayers are with you each and every day. God bless.